We are back for another episode,
Hey,
Caitlin.
hi.
Hi, it's been a hot minute since I've
It
seen you.
has. It
Um,
has. It has been actually a hot minute too. Summer is upon us,
oh yes, yeah, it's
and
been
it's like
humid.
oppressively upon us. And I shouldn't complain, but here I am.
Yeah, I like warm weather better than cold weather. So I would rather be
Yes.
like hot, sweaty, and gross than freezing. Though I'd like the happy medium, like that nice
Couldn't we
72
find somewhere
degrees.
in the middle? Yes.
I mean, I had that in San Diego, and then I moved back here.
Mhm.
Although
I don't.
honestly,
Yeah.
San Diego had 90 and 100-degree days, but we also had a pool, which made a big difference.
Yeah.
Um,
I've been lobbying hard for a pool, but my bequest has been met with nothing. It's fallen upon deaf ears.
I feel like either your whole yard would be pool, or you'd have to like get rid of
Hmm.
the garage and put a pool there.
Yeah.
Or
I mean, I think Tyrell would be fine if our whole yard was a pool because then he wouldn't have to mow. Just
true.
pool and pollinator plants. That's all I want.
Mhm.
And quite honestly, I would be fine with just like a little plunge pool. Like I just want something that's like slightly larger than a bathtub so I can float in it with a little cocktail.
Oh,
That's
they have
all.
those. It's not. It can be a hot tub, but it's actually the exercise pool, the continuous stream ones.
Yes.
But they're
Yeah.
basically like long enough for your whole body to lay flat.
Yeah.
But you don't have to turn on the continuous stream and exercise. You can just use it as like a
I
pool.
want that. Mhm. Yeah.
I can have Brian get on that for you. He sat next to somebody on a plane who worked in Omaha for a like a spa and pool, like not an outlet
Mhm.
store, but basically they get all the ones that go to home shows and don't sell. Um,
Mm,
so they get all those back, and they're like 30 or 40% off. Like some of them are
I
half
love a
price.
sale. I
It
love a
was
sale.
really good. So
Mhm.
I'll hook you up. I'll talk to him and figure that
Thank you
out.
so much. Thank you.
Not a problem. So
Okay.
while you're in your pool, would you have a Pim's cup
I think I
perchance?
might, quite honestly. I think I might. I have to say, I don't always love a ginger beer situation. Like
Mm.
a mule is not necessarily my favorite, but I love the strawberry. I love the mint. I love cucumber in a cocktail. Like
And the
all of
Pimm's
it.
gives it a little bit of a bitterness to balance the sweet, right?
Mhm.
Like
Mhm.
that's I'm thinking
Mhm.
of the right booze
I
there.
think so. I think so. Yeah. Yeah. I would be into this. I think the ginger might be offset enough by like the lemon and the other stuff to just be a brightener and not quite so like spicy.
Well, and
Does
you've
that
got
make
the
sense?
cucumber in this too.
Mhm.
So this is a drink Brian cannot have. So he is
Oh
allergic to
yeah.
cucumber and celery. He's allergic to, which is a weird one.
It's such a
Um,
yeah.
and the number of things that have celery salt in them or celery juice at
Mhm.
restaurants is ridiculously high. So
Is
he would
it
not
like
have
a
this.
is it like anaphylaxis, like he'll choke to death, or is it just like a
No,
mild discomfort?
no, it's
Medium
a
discomfort?
it's a fairly it's a gastric discomfort,
Got it.
and
Got it.
it's
Got it. So
fairly
everyone
significant.
enjoys it. Got it.
Yeah, I mean, but it can
Sorry,
like
Brian.
it can prevent good sleep if he has it before bed because he's just
Uh-huh.
like he's crampy.
His tummy hurts.
It does,
Yeah.
it does. But anyway, I would do this. So
Yeah.
we start out by muddling some cucumber in the glass. It looks like so
Hmm.
two very thin cucumber rounds. Um,
I gotta say, get a mandolin and just watch your fingers.
oh yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
have never loved like slicing things more than since I got
hmm
our mandolin.
Ours has a
Yeah.
thing that goes on it, and your hand goes on
Yeah.
that to prevent you from because you can shave the ends of your fingers off
You
super easy
certainly
and
can. You should
fast.
ask my dad about that sometime because
Oh,
he got a mandolin and then has been missing his like thumbprint for the last like 6 or 8 months because
hmm.
he keeps. So Tyrell and I are gonna get him a like a chainmail
Glove.
glove,
They no, that's like whenever they're doing like worst cooks in America and they get
right?
out the mandolin, I'm just like sitting there like,
Uh-huh.
ooh,
Yeah.
because somebody's gonna bleed. It's just gonna happen.
Yep. Yeah. So, like a thin sliced radish in a salad. Oof.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. It's farmers
Mm-hmm.
market season. I got radishes in my share this
Ooh,
week. I'm ready. I'm
So
ready.
Kim, who does our proofreading, has an
Proofer.
amazing garden. If you're down here, you should actually swing by. She's out in Blair.
Really?
Fantastic garden, and her radishes are ready. And so I had some. She's got two different kinds. One is very peppery, and I love a good peppery
Yeah.
radish. I
Yep.
like vegetables that bite, arugula, radishes.
Mm-hmm.
The other one is much milder. It's like I think she said it's an English radish or something, like an English
Okay.
cucumber. They have a different. I don't know. Anyway, I
It's got an
digress.
accent and prefers tea. Um, on that note, microgreens, radish microgreens. Wow.
Oh,
They're so good. So, so good. Actually, I wonder if we could like muddle them into a cocktail.
I would think you
I'm gonna have
could,
to do some, yeah, right? I'm gonna
like
have to
a
do a little,
like a savory mojito.
yeah.
Hmm. All right, well, let's get back to the Pimm's cup.
Yes, this is
So,
one long thin cucumber slice for garnish, two cucumber rounds for muddling, use your mandolin,
mm-hmm,
a half ounce of simple syrup, 2 ounces of Pimm's number one, and there are several Pimm's, which I didn't know until the
mm-hmm.
research for this, a half ounce of fresh lemon juice, 2.5 ounces of ginger beer, a strawberry for garnish, and a mint sprig for garnish. Mint is the only thing that we're growing in our garden that will be edible this year.
Oh,
I bought 5 mint things. I just planted a whole raised bed of mint. Tyrell's very excited. Anyway,
interesting. And
Phil, right?
this is an interesting one because it's not a shaker drink; it's a
No, this
stir
is, yeah,
drink.
yes,
So you start with the
yes.
Collins glass. That's the tall, thin one,
Three
much
quarters
like.
full with ice,
Mm-hmm.
much like our Colin, right?
Yeah, exactly. Is he three-quarters full of ice? Oh, you tall and slender. Got it.
Tall and
Got
slender.
it.
Yes.
Um, so yeah, and then this one's interesting. Like you put the garnish slice down the side, along the inside of the glass. So you
That
want
makes
that
sense.
it's a long slice, not like a. So you slice it vertically, not
Yeah,
like
like a
round.
fry. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
like a French fry type of a thing.
Hmm.
Um, so then you add the cucumber you're going to muddle and the simple syrup into a cocktail shaker and muddle those. So I spoke too soon. You do need a shaker.
Hmm.
Then the Pimm's and the lemon juice. So again, keep the fizzy stuff out of your shaker. Non-fizzy
Correct.
goes in the shaker. Shake that with ice, strain it into your Collins glass, and then you just top it with your ginger beer or ginger ale. Same thing.
Okay.
Well,
I
similar
could do,
thing.
I was like, I could maybe do this with ginger ale. I just don't love it. Ginger beer tends to just get too artificially spicy for me. I don't know.
Well, and ginger beer, we found like brand to brand, they're completely
Mhm.
different. Like
Mhm.
completely different. Like some of them actually have a bite, like they feel sharp on your tongue,
Mhm.
and some of them
Yep.
don't. But ginger ale is like, it's ginger ale.
Approachable. Yeah.
Yes, Seagrams or whoever figured that out, and it's just what we have.
Uh-huh.
So then you can put a cucumber wheel on it if you want to garnish it. Spear that strawberry and tap your mint in it, and there you go.
Yum. That actually does sound really good.
So you talked about Pimm's
Mhm.
having more than one. Um,
6, it says.
yeah, six of them over the years, but some of them are not available anymore.
Hmm.
So yeah, so very odd. So number two was a Scotch whiskey base that they've discontinued. Number four, a rum base, which they discontinued. Number five is a rye base, which they discontinued. And then it looks like one, six, and three are still available. So six is a vodka based liqueur. Um, three they call the Winter Cup, which is brandy based. Ooh, I like this one with cinnamon, caramel, and
Mhm.
orange. I think it says occasionally
It's
available. I'll bet
probably
that's
seasonal.
seasonal.
Yeah.
That's your Christmas Pims, folks. But I love
Yes.
that they just don't bother to go with any kind of weird
Renumber.
branding or anything. It's just
Yeah.
one, two, three, four, five, six. Yeah, and we're like, oh, we got rid of two, four, five, but it's just one, three, and six that you can
Hmm.
get down, and
I
sometimes three.
think I feel like we should have an all office gathering in like November between Thanksgiving and Christmas called Pimsmas. And we'll just drink like I'll make a flip. We can have some flips and we can have some whatever we make with the Pims number
The win
3.
the Winter Cup.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be great. I'm all for that. I think that sounds good. So Zach can
Merry
just
Pimsmas.
write that down and let people know in
Do you know
Slack.
what? We could do a summer version and do Pimsmas in July with this
The
Pims cup.
mm-hmm. Yeah,
This
with the
seems
Pims number
right.
one.
Great.
I
I'll
feel
have the
like that's
fun
a good
committee get
idea.
on that. Hmm.
Well, when we close on our new house, God willing, at the end of the month. I
You
feel
have
like
a
this
pool.
we do have a pool, and I feel like a summer party at the pool with Pim's cups could be a thing pretty
Pim
easily.
Pim's Missing July.
I actually think we have Pim's number one downstairs too. I'll have to look after this. But
Meant to
all
be.
right. Well, awesome. So with our Pim's Cup, we're going to talk about what we look for when we hire people.
Yes.
So if you're a
I
recent
I don't
grad,
have any actual criteria. We'll get into it. Mine is a gut feeling.
mm,
So,
that's
um
one of our. We actually have 10 official things that we look for that we
mm,
rank people on now, and one of them is gut feeling, and gut feeling has veto power over the other 9. Just FYI.
mm.
All right. Well, let's take a dance break and then get into
Yes.
it.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. We have our Pim's cups. We are not sitting by a pool, unfortunately. Ooh, podcast by the pool. We'll put a pin in that one.
Yeah.
Might be loud, but it'll be fine. We'll
Yep.
have some ambient noise. It'll be like an NPR
There you
story.
go. Yeah, I like this. I'll use my best Terry Gross voice.
Nice. We're watching
Deep.
the Gentle Art of Swedish Death Cleaning on Peacock. um, which is really a fantastic show. And they're all of
And
them
heading into a move, yeah.
yeah, all of them are in Kansas City too. All the ones that they're doing, which is kind of weird.
Hmm.
But one of these women, so they she donated a bunch of stuff to the Gay and Lesbian Archive of Middle America, which is GLAMA. It's this giant warehousey place in Kansas City, and it's narrated by Amy Poehler. So if you can imagine that, but they
I love all
basically
of this.
this woman had a very like soothing, gentle voice, and then the curator of that museum, they like said curator with soothing voice was his like title that they put up on the screen. And he was also very like easy to listen to. It was just
Hmm.
basically a whole like almost an ASMR kind of episode,
Yeah.
but highly recommend the Gentle Art of Swedish Death Cleaning. They are not a sponsor, unfortunately. Um, but it's 3 fierce Swedes who come into your house and deal with clutter, your mental
Emotional
state,
baggage.
emotional baggage, yes, and then interior design.
Hmm.
So yeah, but that has nothing to do with what we're doing here.
Doesn't have anything to do with anything
All
of
right.
this, really.
So we would probably
What do
not
we
hire any of them for digital marketing because that's not what they do.
Probably not. No. What are we looking for when we're hiring somebody in the digital marketing sphere?
So I think there's a couple of things. There's like a couple categories, right? So there's some
Yeah.
just general things we look at in people we want to work with us.
Hmm.
Like who do we want to have lunches with and margaritas and have show up and choose music on the Spotify and all of that.
Uh-huh.
And those just generally are things we've learned that if you have like these 10 qualities, you fit in well here and you're going to work well here. So we're small, so things are changing
Are we
constantly.
11 or 12 now? I've lost count.
We're 12. 12 at
12.
the moment.
Okay. 12
Um,
people work in
yep,
our organization.
correct.
I
So
had
things
somebody I had somebody in one of my HubSpot onboardings yesterday say we're a small group, and I was like, "Can you define small?" And he's like, "Oh, we're 60." And I was like, "Well, we have a different definition of small because we're 12 people." I was
mhm.
like,
Yeah.
same different. Anyway.
Yeah, I had one too. They're actually a marketing agency that specializes in hotels. And they're like, "Yeah,
Hmm.
we're really small." And then she like somehow threw in like in our European office and I'm like, "What?" Like, okay. Like, yes, me
Tiny.
too. Me too. That would be just me
Hmm.
moving to Europe and my home office would be our European office, but that's not happening anytime soon. So anyway, in general, like a couple things, adaptability to change. Like you've got to be able to roll with things
Hmm.
changing and moving. Resourcefulness. We can't hold your hand the whole time. We've got some training tools. We're here for you to answer questions, but like being able
Hmm.
to dig stuff up and find stuff on your own
Yeah.
is important. Um, so culture fit, just that's kind of a gut feeling kind of thing. Coachability, determination, expertise is one, and we'll get into that deeper as it pertains to um, digital marketing. Prior successes, and then the two that I
Hmm.
love, like passion is one. Like,
Yeah.
are you like passionate about, like not even necessarily marketing,
Mm-hmm.
something. Like, is there
Yeah.
something you're passionate
What
about?
lights you up? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And if it's nothing, ooh, that's rough. That's really
Mm-hmm.
rough. So hopefully there's
Yeah.
something. Everybody has something. Um, and then I know you like the last one,
It's the only criteria I have any expertise at.
gut feeling.
Mm-hmm. 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 Mm-hmm.
So, is there something that gives us a red flag, or is there something that gives us like a huge green flag that, like, you know
Mm-hmm.
what, you're teachable and you're a great human, and we just want you to work here?
Yeah.
Um, so those are like the 10 things. I think it's 10. 9. Oh my gosh, is it
9.
only 9?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9. Yeah, it's 9.
Oh, it is only 9. Um, that we actually rate on a scale of 1 to 10, and then you've got a score out of, I
Mm-hmm.
guess, 90. I'm gonna have to double check that. I think I made it a score out of 100, so no one's ever gonna get 100. So,
But
the
I mean, if you're looking at continuous improvement, you shouldn't be scoring 100 anyways, right?
true.
So
I
maybe
mean,
take it out.
I don't think anybody's gonna be perfect on those. I'm certainly not
No.
perfect on those. I don't think anyone is. I think the other one, I know we have some questions that we generally ask in interviews that are really
Hmm.
fun. So we're very food centric. So,
Yes. And by the time somebody gets to like we do kind of have in the past do kind of like a panel style where it's like a more of a meet and greet.
mm-hmm,
And my question is always, what's the one, like if you had to eat one food for the rest of your life, what would it be?
mm-hmm. And people always choose pizza or pasta because
It's
generically you
like
can make
pasta,
those
pizza.
anything.
Somebody I think once said burgers. Megan said like ramen or pho, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So there are some like variables within the sphere, but yeah.
Yeah, and I think our other favorite is what's your if we were to go to lunch right now, what's your local restaurant, your
Yeah.
favorite local restaurant you'd want to go to,
Yep.
and just please let it not be like Olive Garden or Applebee's, or it needs to be like,
They
ideally
have,
it's a
yeah, they all
local.
have a place, right? A
Yeah,
family owned situation. Yeah.
I mean, and we love us a Chili's at the agency, especially
That's
in Sioux
true.
City, especially
Hmm.
since everything kind of improved a couple years ago there.
Yeah.
But favorite restaurant, probably not.
Yeah.
Got a whole bunch more that I would
I
list
have
before there.
I have too many qualifiers where I'm like, is it lunch? Am I eating? What am I eating? Are we drinking? What is the like? I have too many. It's like a flow chart that I need to make of like the
Mm.
different qualifications.
So
But
you
if
need
I
that
had to, yeah,
you need that app that's like Tinder for food, where if
yeah.
you want to go, you swipe right. If you don't want to go to that restaurant, you swipe left. And when you and your husband both swipe right on something, that's where you go eat. Like a very
That's
closed
funny.
in, like, it should
Yeah.
just be called Eater, and that should be a thing. Why somebody hasn't created that, I don't know. But
Mm,
I'm
yeah.
also going to open a restaurant called Whatever You Want.
I think it would be. I think the reason no one's created that is because it would be really hard to monetize.
Probably because we want
Yeah.
money. Hmm.
Hmm.
So, in a cashless future society where we all do our passion, that app will exist.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, anything more on any of those? Like, I think culture fit is good, and that's like a, do we want to hang out with you? Do you
Hmm.
get our vibe? Do you get our weirdness? Like, we're all weird in some way.
Have I scared you away with my extroversion? I think is really what that question should be.
I think for you, yes. It is Caitlin too much for you? Because if
Is
she's
it
too
a
much now,
is it a lot? It's not gonna get better.
yeah, wait till your first day, or wait till you're in a car with her. Like,
Hmm.
you've got to be able to share.
I like to believe though that I can gauge the comfort level. Like I'm not gonna force you to talk to me, but if you are talking to me, I want to know you. I want to know things about you.
Hmm.
Kindly.
Yeah, you're very much a, like, I want to get into people's heads and understand
Hmm.
them.
Hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
yeah, and that's
I
good.
think
And
it makes
that's
it, yeah, yeah. I think it makes working together easier when I can like see where people are coming from.
hmm
I don't know.
I would agree. All right, so we're a digital marketing agency. I mean, we're a marketing agency. We do non-digital stuff, but most of what we do is digital because most of
Yeah.
what everybody does these days is digital. Like, hello, we're on
Everything
a
is the internet all the time.
I know we're recording like a radio show, but we're doing it on a web browser and it's going out to
Yeah.
people via their phone or whatever. Um, so yeah, so there's a lot of things that we look for with digital marketing folks that come in, and even like if you're an account executive or you're coming in
Mm-hmm.
as a project manager, like understanding of some of these things is helpful.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I do have a blog out there on this topic that'll probably be linked from this if anybody's doing RSEO correctly, and this will be linked, from the blog because that makes sense. 'Cause same topic.
Vice versa. Yeah, they're talking to each other.
Yep. So I think one of the first ones is for me, it's just understanding like an inbound or lead gen process, like how
Mm-hmm.
digital marketing is used to attract the right people and bring them
Mm-hmm.
to you. Um, we don't do cold calling. That's not us.
Ugh. I would quit.
Yep. We don't
I'd
buy
leave.
email lists and like spam them. Also not us. It's really about putting things out there and understanding an audience and understanding what they need.
Mm-hmm.
And the more that you get that and can put yourself in the shoes of whoever you're trying to like reach, the better success you're going to have at any role in honestly any agency anywhere.
Right. Yeah.
So I think that one's good. Um,
What else you got?
so there's some really tactical stuff. So like understanding SEO. So SEO
Mm-hmm.
is a big one. It can be complicated. There's a lot to it. A lot of people think it's super simple. You throw some keywords on and away you go. It's not.
Mm-hmm.
The more in depth that you understand that, I mean, you've got like the ability to be hired almost anywhere with that one.
Right.
It's a really huge one because, I mean, what company do you know doesn't want to be found on Google?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't think I've run into anybody. I'm sure there's some out
Yeah.
there that are doing shady things on the dark web or whatever, but um,
Rentahitman.com
I
came
knew
up
that
in
was coming
in the
up.
local news.
It did,
Can you
yeah.
believe that?
Well, it was a
Some,
teenager trying to hire a hitman on a
just like
7-year-old or
wild.
something, but no one was
Wild.
injured. It wasn't successful. He didn't hire the
Yeah.
hitman.
Oh my gosh.
Nobody was actually injured. But yeah, like, so maybe they,
Surprising. Yeah.
though honestly, I think they want to be found on Google too. Like, maybe they do. So SEO is a big one for us as well, and that dovetails into like my next one, which is just creating
Mm-hmm.
engaging content. So they all
Mm-hmm.
kind of work together. If you know your audience, how do you create things that, because we create, right? That's what we do.
Yeah.
That's kind of what we get paid for. So how do you create things, and how do you help others create things that are going to appeal to them, that they're going
Mm-hmm.
to respond to, and that they're going to like basically give up their information, right?
Mm-hmm. Engage with. What are they going to engage with?
Mm-hmm.
That's maybe a yeah.
Yeah, it's a good word. And then wherever that content goes, so if it's on a landing page or social
Mm-hmm.
media or a podcast, like, are they going to engage with it? That's a really big one.
Yeah. Well, I also think like we spend a lot of time talking about content, but not always the amount of time that's necessary to determine what the action we're trying to encourage is.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, really diving into understanding what the end result or end goal is. Like, so somebody sees this piece of content, like, then what? Then
Yeah.
what?
What is
Tell
that?
me what is next. Yeah.
Yeah. So what is the overarching strategy that gets us to the
Mm-hmm.
end result? And then the tactics in between there kind of sort themselves out usually.
Right.
But
If
yeah,
anybody can crack that code and do it consistently, let us know.
well, I mean,
It will take you. Yeah.
I think we do a pretty good job of that, but it is a
We do.
skill that can be really hard, and
It's developed. It's not like an innate thing either.
No,
I mean,
you
it
don't.
can be innate, but like it's a learned skill.
Yeah, very few people come out of the womb with that skill, understanding strategy
Yeah.
and how to achieve results from it.
Yeah.
But it is something that can easily be learned and you can grow into it. I think it's also one that's you've got to be able to help clients understand that as well, because a lot of times it's like, this is the output I want. Write 10 blog posts, get me the output. And it's like, time out, like 10 blog posts might not get you that output. So
But 3 blog posts might.
Right, or 3 blog posts and 2 videos, or it might just, or a series of Google ads will get you that result faster,
Yeah.
or a combination thereof, which is usually the answer.
Right.
So I think there's that piece as well, just being able to understand how to not necessarily convince others. It's a little bit of a convince, but it's not really a sales kind of thing. It's how
Hmm.
to bring others along on the journey and help them
Yep.
see, the what's necessary and the necessary steps.
I wonder if one of your screening feelings should be just communication.
I feel like that was one that should have been on there. Maybe that's the 10th one, and I
That's
just don't
number
have it on
10.
this list.
We solved
We'll
it.
make it number 10 if it's not already. So that'll be good.
Yeah.
But, I mean, and then tactical things like social media marketing. It's hard to believe that people can do that poorly. Though I've seen some examples recently of where people have done
Hmm.
that very poorly.
Any ad
So
you see on Twitter right now is an example of how to do social media marketing poorly.
Well, those are just really like spammy. It's just all that multicolored logo and the weird name,
So
and they're
gross.
all the
Yeah.
same company. I've blocked so many, and
Hmm.
every once in a while I take screenshots of all of them that I've blocked because that's really my whole block list at this point. And I post them and I tag Elon, and I'm like, "Are you gonna do anything about this?" Because like
Nope.
whatever. But I'm still waiting for something else to get like critical mass so that we can all go there, and
Right.
it feels like the early Twitter. But yeah, I mean, but social media marketing, I mean, people post like a call to action in text, but no link. Like, why, like,
What is the point?
buy
Buy
now, but
buy now. Where?
yeah, give me, like,
From the Facebook? That's
I
not a
have,
choice.
I have to go Google you and figure out where your
Hmm.
stuff is. Cause you know what? I'm not going to do that.
Nope. It's
I'm
too
going to
many
scroll on
clicks.
by. Scroll
Goodbye.
on by.
Hmm.
And there are things called shopping ads in a carousel that you can put on there.
Yeah.
I go down that rabbit hole all the time, and the algorithm is so weird for mine, which I know we've talked about
Yours
in
is really
Slack. It's
weird.
really, really weird. Um, so I don't know what's going on there. I may need to just go in and manually reset it. But especially on
Hmm.
Facebook, it's very odd. And they know a lot about me.
You do get some strange suggested posts. That's for sure.
I do get strange suggested posts. If anybody wants to dive into that deeper, maybe that'll be a blog post I can do on how Facebook's algorithm is just, drunk and needs to go home.
Yeah.
All right, so
Maybe a more actionable post would be like how to reset your
yeah, there is a reset button.
preferences. There is.
Yep, and you can go in. You can also just turn it off. And then you just get random stuff because they're not allowed to use your personal info,
Yeah.
which is also hilarious sometimes. But sometimes there's something useful that comes up in there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, all right, so the functional stuff there, like know SEO, know how to do like engaging content,
Hmm.
um, good social
I
media
think
marketing
another
principles.
another one might be like general awareness of HubSpot functionality.
For
Like there's so
us,
many good
hmm
free resources to just even begin to scratch the surface and understand what tools we utilize. Like
hmm
that's an easy get for me. If you come in and you say like, "Oh, I've done some certifications," like, great,
oh
you're
yeah,
10 steps ahead.
anybody with current HubSpot certifications or
Hmm. Hmm.
SEO certifications, Google Analytics or Google Ads
Yeah.
certifications on their LinkedIn profile, because you can put those right on there.
Yeah.
Anybody who has a current one, they're going to jump right to the top, like right
Hmm.
to the top.
Yeah.
And it doesn't even have to be HubSpot. I mean, that's kind of the lead gen behemoth. There's other stuff out there.
Hmm.
But the nice thing about HubSpot, and we'll get into this in a little bit on how you can improve your skills. Their academy has HubSpot specific stuff, but also just general, like
General
how to
inbound stuff. Hmm.
how to build your email marketing list is a course they have in there, and you don't have to
Yep.
do it with HubSpot. You could do it with Mailchimp or something else.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, I think that's a good one too. So that falls under the like learn what tools that agency is using.
Yeah.
Usually you can find that info on their website or just
Hmm.
Google them. If you Google us, I know our HubSpot profile will come up. And then like get one certification in those tools. You're going to
Yeah.
automatically look better to them. And at least they now know that you're aware of their tools. You did some research.
And you're making an attempt,
Yeah,
like a good faith effort. Yeah.
yep, you figured out where the learning library is for these tools,
Hmm.
and you did at least one course. Like
Yeah.
that's always fantastic.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then I said Google Analytics, but like really any analytics and data
Mm-hmm.
interpretation, it's less like, oh, I can go to Google Analytics and set it up.
Mm-hmm.
It's really more the so what. So
Yeah.
when you see those analytics, when you see that people are engaging with your content, what does it mean? Why do you
Mm-hmm.
care? Why do I care? Why does the client care? Like
Yeah.
understanding what you're going to do with that. Because if you measure stuff and never do anything with it, then what's the
What's the
point?
point?
Yeah.
All right.
Um,
Tell me how we can improve our skills.
Okay, so if you were starting out, or if you came to us from another career path and weren't a digital agency person,
Hmm.
Caitlin,
Who would have done that?
or if you've recently graduated and you got a job but it's not the one you want, you're like, oh, I really want
Yeah.
to get deeper into SEO or whatever. We got 4 basic places you can go to get
Hmm.
free learning. So it's free. Some of it has paid. There's paid gating on some of it, but there's free stuff at all of these.
Yeah.
So first one we have is HubSpot Academy. We talked about that one. Amazing, amazing stuff there. And your
Hmm.
baseline certifications are free.
Yes.
I actually use that as extra credit in one of my social media classes. Their social media
Hmm.
certification is you have to have an account, but you don't have to have a paid HubSpot portal to do it.
Hmm.
You just have to have a login, and you can get it, and it's free.
Hmm.
And I make that worth 40 points to offset any late assignments that you may have turned
Well, that's kind
in
of
one of my
you.
classes. Um, I think
Professor Mackey.
this last session, only 2 people did it though. Like it's so like just commit the time. It's
Hmm.
easy. So that's a great one, and it's very searchable. You can find it just at academy.hubspot.com.
Yep.
Also, it's in the blog post if we link to that from this.
Hmm.
Mr. Zach, I know he's got that note in his ear now, and he would be the one doing that.
Yes.
So I wanted to put the SEMrush Academy in here because we use SEMrush for SEO,
Hmm.
but it's all paid, all of it. They don't have free stuff.
Oh,
So
what a
another tool,
bummer.
I know,
SEMrush, come on. You want people to
um,
use your stuff,
right? At least make a couple of certifications free.
right?
But the Moz Academy, so Moz also does
Hmm.
SEO stuff, just a little bit differently. It's you can choose either tool. The Moz Academy has a lot of free courses on SEO as well,
Yeah.
so you can definitely go there and take some free stuff. Really, really great. If you know somebody with a SEMrush account, you can get their login from them,
Hmm.
and jump in there. Now they're going to get credit for taking the course, but you'll at least have the knowledge.
Yeah.
So that's a good one for the SEO piece, especially. And SEO is just getting hotter and hotter, so
Mhm.
definitely something to do. Um, Google has great learning. I just sort of
Yeah.
swallowed that word. Google.
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 Google Analytics Academy, which is separate from the Google Ads Academy,
Hmm.
but both of those are great places to go. And again, you just have to Google Analytics
Search them. Yes.
Academy. Just search them,
Gurgle.
gurgle them, Google them.
Gurgle them. Just go. Let us go look them up. You figure it out.
Yep. So that's a fantastic one. And again, all
Hmm.
3 of those have certifications that you can share to your LinkedIn. And it's just right there in your certifications area. Really, really great to see that when we go to hire somebody because we do stalk you on social. Everybody does. They go see what you've
That's
got on
actually one
social.
of my unsaid job duties. Is
Mm-hmm.
anytime a new applicant comes in, I say, "Okay, tell me about them," and then I will find you on the internet.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Although we're getting some of the Gen Zers who are not
Have
on a
locked
lot
their
of
stuff down.
places.
Yeah.
They've either
Yeah.
locked it down. They're not on Facebook, first of all. They may not even be
Hmm.
on Instagram. It's probably
Hmm.
like a TikTok and maybe Snapchat, though the olds are on
Yep.
Snapchat, so I don't know.
The-
So it gets a lot harder to
I'm
find
not on
people.
Snapchat. Yep.
I am. I just don't use it very much.
Mhm.
But yeah, but I mean, and being on LinkedIn is good, and having your professional stuff on LinkedIn is always a good idea,
Mhm.
um, because it'll help people find you and help you find a
Yeah.
job. So the last one is a website that's really a content behemoth. They have some training, but they've just also got how-tos and tips, and just reading their stuff is great. But it's Social Media Examiner. Um, you can
This is a
follow
new one
them.
for me.
Yeah, it's a really good one. You can follow them on any socials. You can subscribe to their emails, but honestly, like they're so prolific on like Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn to some extent that it's pretty easy to see their stuff. Um, but it's a really, really good one.
Yeah.
Um, And they just have like really great articles about like when Facebook makes a change or when Twitter
Oh,
makes a
sure.
change.
Hmm.
So you can really keep up on stuff, because that's another thing. Being an agency, we're supposed to know what happens before like
Before
anybody
it
else.
happens. Yeah.
And so we prefer to not have clients coming and being like, hey, I read that Google made a change. What's that going to impact to me? We'd
Hmm.
rather be more proactive and say, hey, Google's made this change. It doesn't mean
Yep.
anything for you. We're on it. It's all good. And they go, oh, okay, thank you. Um,
Hmm.
or hey, Facebook made this change, and now as a nonprofit, you can have a donate button instead of a buy now button or shop now
Right.
button, which is one that actually happened. So you'll get a lot of that from Social Media Examiner, and you'll see kind of what they've got there.
Hmm.
I mean, there are other places. So, like Coursera has a great 26-week course on
That's
SEO.
paid,
It's
right?
paid,
Paid.
and it's
Yeah.
expensive, and
Yeah.
it's 26 weeks, and you have to go along. It's a college course. It's a legit like
Oh,
college
wow.
course
Okay. Yeah.
from University of California. I don't know which ones. I want to say Santa Barbara, but I don't think that's right.
Hmm.
But it's a University of California course that I took.
Sure.
I basically try to take it every 2 years, but it's expensive and it takes
Hmm.
time. Skillshare has some courses, again, a paid service, not as expensive. That one's pretty affordable.
Yeah.
But I think anything you can do to come in with that knowledge and not be like, well, I don't know anything, but I'm interested in it. Can you teach me everything?
I can learn. Yeah.
Yeah, because we're going to point you at those things, but more likely another candidate's going to come in with experience and we're going to hire
Hmm.
them, or at least
Yeah.
no experience, but knowledge and certifications.
Hmm. Yeah.
So it's really good.
Awesome. Hey,
So
I
those
look
are,
forward to grilling our next candidates.
well, you're going to now start reading Social Media Examiner so that you've
Yeah.
got things to let
Yeah.
people
I've
know.
got homework.
You do have homework. All good, all good. So that's it. Recent grad, changing careers, whatever your situation is, some really great options there
Hmm.
for you on what
Yeah.
people are looking for,
So
what we're
long as
looking
you're,
for.
yeah, my main criteria is like, don't be a jerk. Are you
That's
not
a
a jerk?
big
I
one.
would
And
like
that
to work with you.
that goes into the gut feeling. If you're a jerk, you're going to get a
Hmm.
0 on gut feeling,
Yeah.
and that's going to
Negative
be,
10.
it vetoes every other thing, and just tanks your score.
Yeah.
So I think that's a really important one, and we can't
Yeah.
kind of emphasize that enough. But that culture fit and gut feeling, and the no jerk rule, like, don't be a jerk. Like, you might be really smart and really great at things, but if
But
everybody
I don't
hates
want to,
you,
yeah.
no one's going to want to work with
No,
you, and
thank
it's
you.
not going to work
Yeah.
out. All right, well, almost lunchtime. Maybe I'll go have a Pimm's cup with my. I think I'm having a burrito. I think it's a burrito
Mm.
today.
I don't have lunch today, but I did bring cookie dough, which is not lunch, but
No, it's
maybe a
not.
snack. Yeah.
But I have a feeling. I mean, it's 11, almost 11:30. If you just post in Slack to your
Hmm.
fellow people, or just go out and be like, I don't have lunch today. Somebody
Well,
will
I did
suggest
say,
something.
yeah, yep. I've got a deep bench of folks to rely on for lunch plans. It's my
And they're
favorite thing about working here.
all very suggestive. So even if they brought lunch, most people are willing to
Like,
abandon their
I will
lunch.
abandon the leftovers in favor of an enchilada
Yep.
without hesitation.
Yeah, my
Right.
burrito's actually Brian's leftover from last night, because he got a burrito and enchilada plate with beans and rice, and then after eating the enchilada, realized it was way too
That's a
much.
lot. Hmm.
I just got
I'm
a
really
smothered
happy for
burrito
you.
because I love a good smothered burrito. Oh, and they do not have the Takis burrito here yet. That's
Mm.
still not one, but there's a limited time hot Cheetos burrito, which is kind of it's an okay substitute. It's not the
Sure.
same.
You should talk to Adriana about hot Cheetos sometime. She'll be really excited about that.
Oh, I'll have to. I have to get her
Yeah.
hot Cheetos versus Takis take on things. I'm
They're
sure.
different.
I'm sure she has opinions.
She
They
likes
are different,
both. Yeah.
but for different
She's
reasons.
got to, yeah, yeah, exactly.
I
All right.
mean, we got to get her on a podcast.
We should.
Maybe
All right.
that's her podcast.
I'll work on that. Yep.
All right. Enough side, what are they called? Tangents. That's the thing in
Tangents.
our title.
Happy lunch. Happy
All
hiring.
right.
Okay. Love you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. That's it for another episode of Cocktails, Tangents, and Answers.
We hope it was as much fun to listen to as it was to make.
You can find me on Twitter or Instagram at @RichMackey. I try not to make it too difficult. It's just my name. And you can find our agency at Antidote_71. That's ANTIDOTE_71 on Twitter and Instagram as well.
And you can find me at home sipping a craft cocktail prepared by my in-home bartender. It's my husband.
We'll be back with another episode every other week and a whole new cocktail recipe, plenty more tangents, and of course, answers to those pressing marketing questions.
And if you'd like to send us a question, you can go to ctapodcast.live to send us an email.
Or you can call our hotline at 402-718-9971 and leave us a voicemail. Your questions might be used for future episodes of the podcast.
For now, like and subscribe and tune in next time.